it might be over. I'm not kidding. Damian Lillard to the Miami Heat might be dead. It might be. Adrian Wojnarowski just said on TV that no imminent trade with Damian Lillard is here. I mean, I'm in shambles. I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. At least as we sit right now, according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, that no Damian Lillard deal is imminent. And all those trade talks that have been escalating over the last 24 hours that I've been reporting on, well, apparently they have not involved the Miami Heat. So, are the Blazers really going to go through with this and trade Damian Lillard to a team that he doesn't want to play for? It's growing more and more likely as the days and hours go on. This is why you subscribe to the Heat Report. Bad news, good news. I'm going to break it down for you guys. So, I truly am a little speechless right now. I got to be honest. Now, I will say, and I want to make this very, very clear. The report that I am talking about today does not mean that Damian Lillard is never going to go to the Miami Heat. And that trade is never going to happen. Because there is a still real possibility that the Heat acquire Damian Lillard via trade. And I would say I sit still 80% likely that it's going to happen. But as of last night, I thought it was like 95-100. So I have definitely decreased my confidence level in the Heat acquiring Damian Lillard. And we're going to talk through this and see what this means for Miami, see what this means for Portland and the rest of the NBA. But it's just an interesting development, really, because when you really think of what the Portland Trailblazers are doing, right? Like, I've talked about this on the show, and other people have said that it's just me being biased, a salty Heat fan, and I don't really think it is. Like, you really think of what Damian Lillard has done for the city of Portland, for the Portland Trailblazers organization. He has stated and been on the record for saying that he does not want to leave the Blazers. He wants to win with the Portland Trailblazers, as Lamar Stevens just signs with the Boston Celtics. We talked about him on the channel. But back to Damian Lillard. He has stated multiple times that he wants to win an NBA championship in the city of Portland. And they failed to put a roster around him to help him win. You look at what has happened over the past couple of years. They traded away CJ McCollum, Dame's running mate for 4 or 5 years. Probably the second best teammate he's ever played with, behind maybe LaMarcus Aldridge. And he wanted to win in Portland, and they failed to build a roster around him. And Dame gave Cronin one chance to make a deal, swing their 2 first-round picks, where they pick 3rd overall and 23rd overall for veteran players that could potentially win, whether it be Paul George, whether it be Pascal Siakam. And they never did it. And then now that Damian Lillard requested a trade after allegedly they said to him that if you ever wanted out of our situation, we will help accommodate that because you have done so much for the organization. And they are going back on their word. It is truly disgusting behavior, in my opinion, and malpractice. And I do think this is going to hurt the Portland Trailblazers in the future. If the Blazers do end up going through with this potential deal and sending Damian Lillard to somewhere not named the Miami Heat, they are going to have a reputation of not treating players the right way. Because if you're a mid-level free agent or a high-level free agent or someone who's just trying to get in the league and the Blazers don't treat the franchise GOAT correctly and do not accommodate his wishes after giving the city and the organization 11 years of good basketball, they trade him somewhere else. So how can you trust them? You really can't. But I do want to talk about what this means from the Heat's perspective, right? Like, if they don't get Damian Lillard, what's next, right? But like, I still think Lillard has happened. I said I have an 80% confidence meter. It has gone down. It's just fascinating to see that the Heat aren't interested in these trade talks. Like, are they that stubborn to where they refuse to send Dame to the Heat? And is Damian Lillard going to follow through with his statements prior, or Aaron Goodwin, his agent, that said if Dame gets traded to a team, he's just going to immediately request a trade again, and this time to the Miami Heat? Is the team going to go out there and take the chance that Lillard is going to come in and play for a team that trades for him? There are other options for the Heat if there is no Dame. Probably not this offseason. They'd be definitely running back the same roster, hoping Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Nikola Jovic take the next step and potentially help this Heat team. But the shambles meters are high, right? Like, the Heat not being included in these Damian Lillard trade talks that have escalated at least a little bit in the last 24 to 48 hours is very surprising. Barry Jackson kind of had the news, and it's just interesting because now the Blazers are taking Dame talk serious, and they want to get this done prior to the training camp getting underway in a week and a half, 2 weeks. So it's going to be interesting to see if Pat Riley and the Miami Heat eventually do get in the talks with Joe Cronin and the Portland Trailblazers, because if the Heat do not get Damian Lillard, they have ruined another potential season of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo winning an NBA championship. Because as high as I am on Nikola Jovic, as high as I am on Jaime Jaquez Jr., and a motivated 23-year-old Tyler Herro coming back off of injury, I love those three guys, and those three players did not have anything to do with the Miami Heat getting to the NBA Finals last season. And I know people are going to point out Max Strus leaving, Gabe Vincent leaving. I don't think those are as big as losses as the outside media would like to make them seem. Like, Max Strus stunk it up in the NBA Finals, and he wasn't even that good against the Boston Celtics. He was good against the Knicks, and he was pretty much the sole reason the Heat beat the Bulls in the play-in. But in the actual postseason, where you're playing series against other teams, he did not perform that well. I think Gabe Vincent is a bigger loss than Max Strus. I think Duncan Robinson can have a bounce-back year after he looked to play the part in the NBA postseason. So I'm not saying the Heat are going to be completely dead this upcoming year, but they wasted a golden opportunity to make the splash move to get another playmaker, another scorer around Jimmy and Dame, who have been the best duo in the Eastern Conference over the last 4 seasons. And I don't want to see Jimmy's end-of-year career get wasted. He's 35. Like, he doesn't have that many years left. Jimmy's got to get his win-now window right now. And it was best well served to get a Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal from earlier in the offseason. Like, those two guys have to be a member of the Miami Heat, at least one of them, going into the season to capitalize on this win-now window. So the Heat passed up on Bradley Beal in trying to make that deal. I think they had Bradley Beal in the bag. I think they could have easily got a better package than what the Suns sent for Beal. And you could have had a big three of Beal, Beal, Bam, and Jimmy, which I thought would have worked very, very well. And you would have been able to 100% keep, like, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Nikola Jovic, and Caleb Martin. Like, you could have just sent Tyler Herro and second-round picks for Bradley Beal and got that deal done. But you didn't. You waited for Damian Lillard. So you have to get this deal done, right? Like, I don't know if it's just Joe Cronin in Portland saying, I don't give a flying shit. I am not trading Damian Lillard to the Miami Heat. If that's the case, well, then we're screwed. But if it's just a simple fact that the Heat have not offered up their best package because they don't think anyone else will send a better package, then I'm starting to get concerned because there are apparently trade talks that are escalating. So now I'm thinking that Pat Riley might have to pony up a little bit and start sending his B+, A- offer to Portland to try to secure this, because I'm getting a little nervous of Dame ending up on a different team. But hey, who knows? Maybe if Dame does get traded to, like, say, the Toronto Raptors or Chicago Bulls, as soon as he gets there, or that note he hits, 2 2 hours later, he says, I'd like to be still traded to the Miami Heat. It's going to be a fascinating storyline. We'll see how it plays out. If you want to stay tuned on the latest surrounding the Miami Heat and this Damian Lillard trade situation, make sure you hit that sub button because I'm covering everything Miami Heat. You won't miss a beat of Heat news, so make sure you sub right now. Buckle up. We're in for a long 48, 72 hours.